This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this we're looking at for Monday games. So, we just concluded two seasons last week. We had the Florida Panthers beating the Edmonton Oilers to win the Stanley Cup, and just last night we had the Oklahoma City Thunder defeating the Indiana Pacers in game 7. I don't know what, for some reason my brain was stuck on like game 6, but I think that was just NHL. Game 7. Now, anybody who watched the game or looked at the news this morning, very, very sad news that Tyrese Halliburton started the game off really well, hit 3 threes within the first 7 minutes of action, and Tyrese is going to take over and the Pacers are going to upset the Thunder. And then of course you saw in the first quarter he had already had a calf injury, which is all part of the same leg. When something gets tight or strained or sprained, it can affect other areas of the leg. And you saw when he kind of planted his foot and pushed off, assuming he was going to be driving to the basket. They kept showing the replay on TV, but they slowed it down and you can see the vibration. So when the Achilles snaps, it just flings up and it kind of makes the calf vibrate. And so as soon as you saw it, they're like, oh yeah, he tore his Achilles. Which, for anybody who hasn't followed sports injuries too often, a torn Achilles puts you out for a very, very, very long time. Maybe not as long as Tommy John elbow surgery in baseball, but a long time. So we're not going to see Jason Tatum, who tore his Achilles in the playoffs. We're not going to see him for a very, very long time. Maybe he can come back in the playoffs next season. Maybe. It all depends on how quickly they heal and everything. But yeah, there's 3 people that tore their Achilles, all have the number, all 3 all-star players, and they all wear the number 0, which is a weird coincidence. Tyrese Halliburton 0, Jason Tatum 0, Damian Lillard 0. So this morning I looked at the odds for all of these players are of course in the East, but I looked at the odds for who is the favorite to win the East next year because everybody has snapped their Achilles, and the Orlando Magic is actually 3rd in the entire conference, right above the Boston Celtics. So there's 4 teams that are all within plus 400 or less, and Magic's number 3. So I believe it's Cavs, Knicks, Magic, Boston, and then there's a big drop-off on odds after that. So one of those 4 are the most favored to win the East. And of course, if it's the Orlando Magic, then we're going to be on cloud 9, because that is what we want to see. But quick recap of last week. Last week was fantastic for us. The spread predictor printed money for everybody again. If you saw on the Discord channel, the MLB Discord channel, I kind of recapped to the win-loss of the entire week, another profitable week. And then also for those who, for whatever reason, do not like money and are on the outside of the Discord looking in, the shows that I do here, the one that you're watching right now, this channel that you should be subscribed to if you like money, did not miss last week. Every single show we had profit. Every single MLB show we had profit. So we're on a 10-day streak of doing well with MLB. Of course, knock on wood. As soon as I say something like that, always backfires. Mondays have been horrible for us this season. We have made so much money. I have made so much money for you guys doing this show the entire MLB season. But for whatever reason, Mondays are the worst. So we're trying to shake off this crazy Monday rust, or this Monday vibe. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. So we're just bet lightly, I guess is all I can say with whatever we find here. Also, I have a very sexy futures parlay ticket that I'll throw this up on screen. But I had, as you can see, the picks that I put in there. So I've been doing this for the last few years, and it always makes things very interesting. it gives you a ticket that lasts a long time as long as you get the first one or two right, as opposed to a ticket that just is dead, on delivery. So we have Oklahoma City to beat Indiana Pacers in the finals. We had the Florida Panthers to beat Edmonton Oilers in the finals, which for whatever reason, was plus 500. And then, as you can see, there are 3 more teams. So this entire ticket of 5 teams has 4 of the 5 teams going back-to-back. Florida Panthers back-to-back. The New York Liberty, which would be the next one to check off the list because their finals, I believe, is in mid-October. So if they go back-to-back, check. Since they added Natasha Cloud, they have not lost a game this season when their starters are healthy the entire time. So their first loss, Jonquel Jones was out, and then their second loss was when Jonquel Jones came back, and then she had a severe ankle sprain, and I think in the second quarter, so she missed the entire second half, and so they weren't able to keep up the pace. So that was the loss. And then, of course, now Jonquel Jones is out 4 to 6 weeks. And on top of that, yesterday's game, Sabrina, or more commonly referred to as Sathrina, she was out as well. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, our record's going to be by the time the playoffs come around. But it doesn't matter because if everybody's healthy, the New York Liberty are going to go back-to-back. And then the next one you see on there as well, I have the Dodgers going back-to-back. They have another health issue as well. Their pitchers are so banged up. If all of their pitching is healthy, if they don't have anybody that is getting paid more than like $500,000 a year, that's not anybody above that pay threshold is not on the IL, they're going to go back-to-back. And then, of course, we have the Eagles on there as well going back-to-back. And as you see, we're 2 out of 2. We should get 3 more, turning 50 into 45K. And we're going to be sprinkling a little bit of that back to the community for everybody who understands that you need to do the bare minimum to be more successful at sports betting. And again, if you're not sure what the bare minimum is, I will remind you for the trillionth time. There are free things available to you, free resources, free opportunities. If you aren't taking advantage of these, you should not be betting on sports. Sports betting is for those, only for those, who will do what it takes to set themselves up to be in the best position possible to win a bet prior to the game ever starting. 99% of people out there, they shoot themselves in the foot well before the game ever starts, so they give themselves essentially a 0.1% chance of hitting. What we do here at PlayerProps.ai is we give you the best possible chance at hitting and profiting and making money. That is the goal, being profitable. The goal is not to turn $1 into $1 million, because you should just play the lotto. You probably have better odds that way. I know you technically don't, but you know what I mean. Do the free stuff or stop betting. Recap for the free stuff. You have a free YouTube channel right here you can click subscribe to. We drop videos Monday through Friday. We also do some other variety shows as well to help you win more often, and also do a lot of community bonding, fun entertainment things. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Download the free version of the app. Yes, there's a free version of PlayerProps.ai, and if you would have looked into it, you would have already seen that by now. Create a free account on the PlayerProps.ai app. Get into the free PlayerProps.ai Discord. Connect your Discord account to your PlayerProps.ai account, which opens all the free channels. And yeah, just watch all the gosh dang videos that are out there on this channel that teach you how to bet smarter and how to use the PlayerProps.ai tool. Now that we're 8 minutes in for this show, just going through all that stuff, now let's flip the script and let's actually look at some things for today, Monday, June 23rd. I do want to add as well, this weekend, so there won't be any shows Monday through Friday next week. So I'm going to Ohio and I'm volunteering for a camp, and it's essentially like no laptops and phones in pocket kind of camp. So it's no shows Monday through Friday, but again, we're still going to have our team that does our short video content, like Ben and Grace. They're going to be dropping some stuff on YouTube and social media, but we'll still be active, of course, in the Discord. Oh my gosh, my eyeball. I don't know if you've been seeing this entire show. I feel like I've been squinting my left eye. I got a gosh dang eyelash in there. Okay, let's see if we can find some from MLB. So yeah, we're going to do what we always do. Do you know what we always do? If you do, What number are we going to move this line to? I feel like this is almost like Dora the Explorer. Like, where's the map on the screen? Or what do we do next? But, hey, that's a very educational show, and a lot of kids can speak Spanish because of that. Line 3, difference 17. Yeah, I feel like you can compare this play of the day show I do to Dora the Explorer. Both entertaining, both trying to help you out and make you learn. So, that being said, there are 5 people that hit those filters. Let's go through and see who's actually a trifecta. Ben Brown, 4.5 line. So if his line's 4.5 and we need a 1.0 difference, that means we need the projection to be 5.5 or higher. Bada bing, bada boom, it's 5.6. Sportsbooks also favor the over. We go one more down. Matt, 3.5. What does the projection need to be? Add 1 to that, 4.5. His projection's 4.35. X that, not a trifecta. One more down. Stephen Kolak. His projection needed to be 4.5. It's 4.11, not a trifecta. One more down. Mitchell Parker. His strikeout line is 3.5. Projection needs to be 4.5, but it's only 4.1, not a trifecta. And then there looks like there's one underplay. Good old Jack. Jack, his line is 4.5. His projection would need to be 3.5. It is 3.55, not a full trifecta. And he's also, this is an underplay, and he's versing Boston, who strikes out like crazy. They're 3rd most in the entire league this season and 5th most in the last 3 games. So out of all of these things, Ben Brown is actually the only technical trifecta. But let us check the MLB ban list channel in Discord. You know that free Discord I keep telling you to join every day of your life? Well, there's a channel in it. It's very important. There's a lot of channels that are very important. This one we're referring to is the MLB ban list channel. What it says, and this is a mixture of this last year carrying over to this year, is we don't go under against St. Louis, because last year St. Louis struck out a lot. But as you see here, the red for the season, they've seemed to kind of turn that around in 2025. St. Louis only strikes out 23rd most out of 30 teams, so they're 7th from the bottom. But recently, it seems like they're striking out a little bit more. They're up to 15th overall. Let's look at Ben Brown's statistics. So Ben Brown, it looks like he's been starting the entire season. So he's not, I don't see any crazy gaps. So what I look for, the one thing you want to look for, you see there's dates and everything. You want to make sure that there's no crazy gaps where he's missed like a lot of time for like injury or whatever it may be, getting sent down, getting called up. But it looks like everything's consistent here. Typically every 5 or 6 days, a pitcher should be pitching, a starting pitcher anyway. So what I want to do first is you want to look at the K percentage. K percentage, what does these mean? K percentage, bop, bop, bop. The strikeout rate. This is how much they strike out batters who bat right-handed. That's what versus righties means. What we look for when we go over strikeouts is both of these numbers on righties and lefties is 20% or higher. When you want to go under, you don't want either of these numbers to be 20% or higher. We have 23.8 against righties and 30.3 against lefties. So he checks that box. This season, what was his first start? Let me see. Was it 317? No, that was a preseason game. I think 331 here was his first start of the season. Yeah, because I don't think. Oh no, that was Chicago and LA Dodgers had that Tokyo series. That's what 317 was. So yeah, his first start technically was in Tokyo, but so look at this bar here. This is his first start of this season. Just go all the way across here. So he has only not gotten 5 or more strikeouts twice. At Milwaukee, May 2nd. At Cincinnati, May 25th. But he only hooked. And if you don't remember what hook means, that means where you miss something by 0.5. So his line was, so if we look at the line of 4.5, which it is today, he only got 4, so he was just under. He needed 1 more strikeout on both these days to hit. But he's pretty consistent. He's constantly hitting 5 strikeouts. But if you remember from the shows last week, and I kind of mention this every show, but I know I mentioned this in a few other MLB shows last week, I like to see pitchers who have quote unquote strikeout stuff. And what I mean by that is they have the ability to potentially approach double digit strikeouts. So here he got 9 Ks in 5 innings. Here he got 8, and here he got 9. So if he was just 5 across the board for every game, but just missing 2, it's still interesting. But the fact that, like, even back here to Milwaukee last year, he got 10 Ks, he can strike out people. He's got strikeout stuff. Not every pitcher can get right there at that double-digit strikeout spot. So it's very interesting to see. He's very consistent. A lot of his games this season. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7 starts this season. He's gotten exactly 5. 2 starts, he's gotten 4, and everything else he's gotten 6 or higher. So these 2 games here, if you look on the screen, you see on the very bottom it says 100 PC. That's pitch count. And again, if you listen to what I'm actually saying in the shows, which the people who are wanting to be more successful are not, just fast forwarding to the end. You're actually listening to learn how to use the tools. So when we stop doing these videos completely, like I said, next week when I'm volunteering for a camp, you know exactly how to use the app on your own, so you don't need the show because you've listened to what I'm saying. But what I mentioned a lot last week, and then all the weeks before that, is I like to see that the manager keeps the pitcher in the game for somewhere about 90-plus pitch count. When you're going over, you want to know that the pitcher, more often than not, gets the time to hit the strikeout number. When you're going under, I want to see pitchers that are getting pulled on average at like a 75 pitch count, because if they're going to 100 and you're going under, it's a recipe for disaster. But this guy gave up 6 runs to the Phillies and got pulled with 1 out left in the 6th inning, 100 pitch count. So even though he gave up 6 runs, he probably gave up 6 runs in the 6th inning, which is why he got pulled, or gave up his 6th. He gave up his 6th run. 100 pitch count is very good. 92 here. He does have some 77s, some 86s, 85. He gave up 6 runs and before he completed 5 innings, and he still got 8 Ks against Miami. So, even though St. Louis, let's see here. So, what are they heavy on his side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they don't have any switch hitters, apparently, which would be an S. So they have 5 lefties and a bunch of righties. Again, like I said, they have been striking more. And he is 23.8% or higher on both sides. Yeah, so let's look at, so we know St. Louis is trending up and striking out more, but I want to actually see, where are they at? They're right here in the middle. So they're 23 overall for the season, 7.85. The last 3, they're 7.67. So it's not that they're trending up, it's that many teams are just striking out less, more below the average, I guess. St. Louis only struck out 3 times in their last game. I don't like to see that at all. That's the lowest in the entire league. Yeah. St. Louis struck out in the last game played. Nobody had fewer strikeouts than St. Louis. That's not something I like to see. But I'm thinking here. Let me look at something else. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up the St. Louis game, and I'm going to go to hits. Where's it? Let me refilter the St. Louis game. Where'd that go? What time is it? Oh, it's 7:45 p.m. tonight. Perfect. So something else you can do is you can do what I just did here, where you actually go to a game, do any hitting stat, and then filter by that game. and you can go to every player. So St. Louis, here's the 9 batters that's projected to start. And I'm going to go down, and so the person they're versing is a righty. That's the person we're targeting. He's a right-handed pitcher. So against right-handed pitchers, he's got a 17.3 strikeout rate. Let me see who else we got. Nolan against righties, only 11.9, so he's not going to be a potential strikeout candidate. Lars Nootbaar. This has got to be one of the best names in the league. This is more what we want to see. A 20.6 strikeout rate. I don't know if I was scrolling high enough when I was highlighting the other guys. 20.6 against righties. The same thing. We're kind of looking for that close to that 20, as close to the 20 number as possible. Nolan, 27% strikeout rate against righties. Wilson, 23.9% strikeout rate against righties. So far, the first 2 players did not have a 20%, but everyone since then has. Pedro, 25% strikeout rate against righties. Victor, 26.4% strikeout rate. So again, the first 2 players are Nolan is probably not going to strike out just based on that trend. Mason may not strike out, but he only needs 5, and he's got a handful. As long as he doesn't give up crazy amounts of runs, I feel like he has that opportunity. Who we just looked at? Victor. Let's look at Brendan. Just keep things going here. Ooh, 9.1. Not going to be striking out against our pitcher. That's very low. Let's see here. And then we have Alec Burleson, 13.3. Okay, so if we need, doing the math here, he needs 5 strikeouts to hit, right? So if we're only factoring in the people that have a 20% strikeout rate against righties or higher, I think Lars was the first, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's go here. So let's just look at this real quick. Lars, Nolan, Wilson, Pedro, Victor, that's 5. And then was Brendan? I know Alec Burleson wasn't. No, Brendan was low. So there are 5 out of 9 players that have a 20% strikeout rate against righties or higher. That's not saying that it's impossible that he can't strike out the other guys, but assuming he's going to go through the batting order, let's see, 9 times 2, 18. At least twice, depending on when he gets, how many hits he allows and when he gets pulled. If he gets at least twice, there's 5 people that have a strikeout rate. So we're hoping that out of those 10 plate appearances, so let's say he only pitches 18 outs, and 18 outs is 6 full innings. So if he gets pulled at 6 full innings, he will have 10 plate appearances in 6 full innings against players who have a 20% strikeout rate against righties or higher. So he just needs to get 5 strikeouts in those 10 plate appearances. And if he strikes out one of the guys that's under 20%, even better. And I know we haven't really done this on the screen, but this is just something else I want to tell you to consider. Everything that exists on this app exists for a reason. You want to use everything available to you. But with that being said, I think this is what we're going to go with here. Again, there are players that a 9.1% strikeout rate against righties. Probably not get a strikeout against guys like that, but there are at least 5, so you get at least 10 plate appearances, and he just needs to strike out half those plate appearances before getting pulled. But he could have more than 10 because, of course, if he's allowing hits and people get on base, the order goes through more and more, and there's a chance that he can actually verse a lot of these guys that have 20%. Let's pull up that projected batting order again. So who are the ones that were under? So we're almost done with the show, I promise. Mason, Nolan, Brendan, and Alec are sub 20. Mason, Alec, wait. Mason, who the crap was the first? What was the second name that I just read? Oh my gosh. Mason Nolan. Mason Nolan, Alec Brendan. Mason Nolan, Alec Brendan. Okay. Got it. So now, those first 3 people on this projected order are sub 20. So if he doesn't get a strikeout in the first inning, don't freak out. Those are 3 of the 4 people that have a sub 20% strikeout rate against righties. Then, the bottom 6, there's only one person, and that's Nolan here, Nolan Arenado. The next 6, 5 of the 6 have a strikeout rate 20% or higher. So again, there's a channel we added to Discord that if you're in the Discord, it's a free channel, which you should be in the Discord because you can't be a good bettor. You can't win more and lose less unless you're in the Discord. There's too many helpful things in there that if you're not in the free Discord, and I don't care if you don't have a Discord account, it's free, that's free to download, free to create, but there's a new channel we added called the Tilt Room, which is specifically designed that if you're complaining about something not hitting for you and it's like in the first half of the game, you go to the Tilt Room and you can complain all you want to in there because we don't want to see you complaining about your over total not hitting for the entire game when it's only the 3rd inning or strikeouts or whatever. But I'm essentially saying these 3 people are probably not going to strike out, and this is the first inning. These are the first 3 outs. Don't tilt. Don't freak out. This is what we're focusing on here. 5 out of these 6. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you are listening to the words coming out of my mouth. So when we don't have shows next week while I'm away, then you will know exactly how to use this app to win more and lose less. Again, if you listen to everything I said on every MLB show in the last 9 days, 10 days maybe, you have made profit if you did exactly what I told you to do. So just do what I'm saying. Use the tool, how it's designed. The tool is not designed for you to download the app and then just plug in 15 projections and a 15-pick parlay and then like, oh, hey, this app's not good. I didn't hit a 15-pick parlay. Well, no, it's not good because you're not good. Stop shooting yourself in the foot and listen to the gosh dang words coming out of my mouth. I swear. If you post a 15-pick parlay in the Discord and you complain about the app doesn't work for you, you're going to get punched in the throat. Throat punch. Don't do it. Good luck, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.